Hey everyone, thank you for tuning back in. Sean Tierney here from Insights to talk to you about the unique advantages. The things you will find about taking courses online at the automation school that you're not going to find anywhere else. Absolutely, you're not going to find it. And that's what we're going to cover today. And, I've been covering these one here, one there over the course of the months and years, but I really thought it was a good time now to kind of list them all because I know a lot of the other people doing training, they're investing all of their funds into ads. I see their ads everywhere. And, I've always reinvested the funds into the training. So I think you'll find some of these very interesting. I don't know that I've ever put this list together like this all in one place. So let's go ahead and switch over to PowerPoint and take a look at some of the unique advantages that I have at the automation school that other even vendors don't have access to, things they can't even touch. So we'll start first with the buy once model. Now, there are some other people out there, instructors who do, and companies that do a buy once model, although a lot of people fall into two other camps. Either fall into the subscription camp where, after a year, you've spent more than you would have spent if you just came to the automation school. And some others do the buy once, get access once. Like you can only take every lesson once. You can only go through the course once. You got a very small window to go through it, maybe 30 days. And, having been doing this for 35 years now, I've rejected both those models because I don't think those are the best models for the, people out there who want to learn, at least in the United States, the people I've met. So after that, though, this is an exclusive daily support, right? So it's my full-time job. You guys see me here on the channel quite often. And every morning, just like checking email, I'm checking students' questions and answering them. And, even have them drop in and when I'm available to ask questions in person over Microsoft Teams. So this is something that a lot of people are either doing this on the side or, if you only have limited access to the course, of course, you can't ask questions every day because you're only got 30 days to take the course. And so the other thing is I put in here is that an up-to-date automation veteran, right? So you guys know I am constantly interviewing the vendors because I'm hungry to know what's new and exciting and what they're coming out with. And so that helps me as an instructor because I'm also a content creator to stay up to date. And so I think that's a real differentiator that you're not going to find anywhere else. Matter of fact, a lot of instructors I talk to are way behind. I've even reviewed some of their content for them on request. And, I sent them lots of notes of things they didn't get right. So it pays to be up to date. And the other thing is bonus courses, right? So you will find nobody else in the world can offer you, no other instructor in the world has spent 10 or more hours interviewing vendors like Rockwell and Siemens, and then include those interviews with the course, right? And so now some of those interviews I do make public, but I take all the ads out. Even on the public ones, I take all the ads out and I give it to the students as a nice, clean, forever update. So if they ever want to learn about version 19 or version 20 of TIA Portal or version whatever of Studio 5000, that is part of their course. It's part of their bundle course they get with that. And of course, I'll include a link to more information about that in the description there. Another thing that you will find nobody else doing is I actually went out and hired a app developer to create for me a app that I give to my students. This app is like a PLC, an application all built into one. I reinvested the money you guys have spent with me if you're one of my students into this app, and now everybody gets it. I got hundreds and hundreds of students using this app. And I also include a link to a video where I talk about that. And it's just the coolest thing because if you don't have a PLC or you don't want to break out your VMware image or your PLC, you can just start this app up right on your Windows 10 or 11 PC and stop programming and controlling what I call my widget machine. So that's also a differentiator you're going to find nobody else has. The next thing is discount towards in-person courses. So a lot of these people who teach online don't do in person. And a lot of people who do in person don't do online. The advantage of taking one of my online courses is not only that I keep updating, I just put up a bunch of updates today, but the fact that let's say you buy my $200 Siemens course or ControlLogix course, if you come here to in person, you're going to get $200 off the in-person course, right? And let's say you come in person and you don't have the online course. Well, I'm going to give you the online course for coming to my in-person course because I want you to be able to keep asking questions and keep learning even after you leave the in-person course, and vice versa. If you've already taken my online course, you're really here not for the lectures, but for the hands-on, right? The other thing that we do that almost nobody else can do is do custom in-person courses with an unprecedented mix of hardware. Now, I know there are people out there who they'll customize the course to meet their customers' needs. I understand that. But none of them have the breadth and depth of hardware that I have because I'm a content creator and I have vendors always sending me stuff, wanting me to put stuff on the show. And so all of those items, and I'll have more about these little demo labs that students can actually share between stations in the coming weeks. But in any case, there's all kinds of IO link devices, Profinet, Ethernet, VFDs, all kinds of different devices, sensors, cameras, and just all kinds of stuff that has been donated or sampled to me that now become part of the courses. Nobody else has the same mix. Nobody even has close to the mix I have here. And that's just another advantage of signing up for our online courses, because over time, all of those lessons get added to the courses. Now, some of them are already up there, and I'm going to be adding a ton more. So that's just one advantage. Like, let's say you want to learn how to use that ProSoft, the Data Highway Plus Ethernet gateway. Well, who else has one of those? Well, we do, and we include that lesson in our courses, the relevant courses, right? Another thing we do is office hours support. I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but last year I was trying to do like the same time every week. And as it turns out, you get thousands of students. The same time doesn't work for everyone. So now I've switched it up to where my students can actually set up a 15-minute one-on-one with me when I'm available, right? So if I'm filming or if I'm doing an interview or recording a podcast, of course, I'm not available. But at the other points in my schedule, maybe I'm writing up stuff or I'm doing email, they can actually schedule a call with me. I just had a call yesterday morning with a student and asked me questions about the courses they're enrolled in. Obviously, if you're in the Siemens course, you don't schedule about, a Schneider question, right? That doesn't make any sense. But in any case, that's something that I can do because I own the company and I want to take care of my students. And I have, in 12 years, I've not had a single student abuse the Q&A online or abuse this feature, which is actually the new virtual drop-ins is a little bit new, where you can just schedule a time in my calendar to do a one-on-one. Say, lesson 5 you're having a problem with, right? We can schedule a 15-minute one-on-one to get you through that. So with that, let's go on to the next one. Factory simulation upgrades. Okay, so this is ready today for my Allen Bradley PLC courses, right? So Micro 800, like MicroLogix, Slick 500, and Control Logics, Compact Logics. You can upgrade. You buy your course, and now you can add another course to that talks about solving all of the applications inside of either Factory IO or PLC Logics. Now, most of those courses are $50. Some of them are only $25, but that's an add-on. Hours and hours of mastering applications that you can do in addition to your existing 5 or 10 or 20-hour course that you've already enrolled in, right? So that's pretty unique. And I was working with, actually, like 3 o'clock this morning, I was emailing people in Germany. There's this great new product that I'll be adding to along with Factory IO and PLC Logics that is going to blow your mind away. It's a 3D simulator, and we're just going to keep them coming. There's also a couple I'm working on after hours right now too that I'll be releasing in the coming weeks and months. So these add-ons to your courses, right? A lot of people, they'll just do a course, right? And a lot of times they just talk for 30 hours or whatever. And in my courses, I want to make sure that you get the parts and pieces you want. I don't want to include things you don't need. And, that's kind of a big differentiator here with the automation school. And then I put 9 there because I got a whole bunch of things I'm not ready to talk about, simulation things, HMI things. And it's just not a good time to talk about them yet because they're not quite done. But in any case, I am going through and updating all of the PLC courses. I'm really focused in on the PLC courses right now, and I'm going through and I'm updating them. I'm taking lessons out that are obsolete and replacing them. At the same time, I'm filming the new lessons for the 2025 courses now, You can only get those if you bought a bundle with the what we call the Ultimate Collection. And if you didn't do that, then those are not ready to buy yet. The other thing is they will be given away for free to existing students. So let's say you're in the level one course of control logics, let's say. Well, you're going to get the new level one programming course free of charge because why am I going to make you pay for really to learn the same thing again, right? And, a lot of times I have students who have been with me for 10 years, right? Well, I want them to get the updated content and, protect their investment that they made with me, So, if 10 years ago, Studio 5000 looked quite a bit different than it does right now, right? So, in any case, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying there. Um, that was it. I just wanted to share some unique advantages, some really things that we do at the Automation School with our online courses that nobody else in the world does. I know I'm not spending $10,000 a day on advertisements with Google to try to beat out other people spending that kind of money. I don't even have that kind of money. But in any case, if you want real, honest training from somebody who really knows what he's doing, not that I know everything, I learn something new every day, and has these advantages that nobody else offers because I do it full time and it's my company, then please check out theautomationschool.com. There is a link there if you want to talk to me more. Maybe you have a group of people who work for you. You want to get them training. Just click on that link and set up a Teams meeting with me, and I'll sit down with you. We'll talk about what advantages we have and what things we can do specifically for your group. And with that, that is the end of this edition of What's New in School. Again, I'll have all the links to things I mentioned in the description. And I just want to wish you all good health and happiness. And until next time, my friends, peace.